doing some stuff to make the game more playable by people who can't, recognize the subtle differences between colors.
I'm going to go very, very quiet because I actually only have 51 seconds left to complete this level. So you had better talk about stuff while I play faster than perhaps I have ever done.
Fair enough. Also, I know that there have been a lot of questions about the Facebook version of the game. The Facebook version is coming along really well. I think Lee and I are going to be spending some time playing it this weekend. It's finally in a form that we can be looking at it, and that's going to be coming in March. It'll be just like the game that you all know. We're going to probably make some interface tweaks on it before it comes out. One of the things that we're trying to do, if we can, is let some people in to beta test it before it comes out. Perhaps a week or two before it comes out, to give us some feedback on what they think of the interface and things like that. So I should know soon if we're going to be able to do that, and if we are, then we're going to be going to our closest fans, people like the guys here on Twitch, people like our newsletter.
God, son of a time limit! Gas!
Oh no!
I was God damn. You know who I blame? I blame the fact that Lee's answers are so long that I got distracted and got killed by the clock. Right, I'm going again. Right, you carry on. So it's very. I'm apologising. Everyone else is listening to you and I'm not, because I'm just going to go as fast as I possibly can. Right, you carry on. Sorry, I apologise for my rant.
Totally understood. So anyway, so it's coming, and Facebook will have cloud saving, just like the mobile versions. Though it's actually going to be our own in-house cloud saving. Which actually will give us more flexibility in terms of helping people with restores and things like that, where it comes to the Facebook version. And the Amazon Kindle version is sitting with the good people at Amazon right now. So that's on schedule to come out next week. And then once that's out and Facebook's out, we'll sort of turn the eye of Sauron perhaps to like Windows 8, which people keep asking me about, and BlackBerry we're starting to get asked about and things like that. So yes, we'd like to add all those things.
Well, those 3 or 4 users on Windows 8 will probably appreciate that coming that way.
Exactly. Yeah. They seem to be the same 3 or 4 people. Who those 3 or 4 people seem to like Doctor Who. So that's good. There's a lot of Brits on Windows 8. I hear more of it from British people than I do from Americans, for example, asking about Windows 8.
Don't expect much conversation from me, because I'm just going for it.
Achievements, we introduced those sort of lightly on the Android version just to sort of check it out and see how that would work on the implementation. So now we're going to be going wide with that, and I believe at the end of March we have about 60 new achievements coming, and I think all of them were chosen by fans that Lee has been collating as they've been coming in. And so fans who've been submitting those ideas are going to recognize many of the achievements that are going to be in the game. So I'm excited about that. We're continuing to try and do a lot of things to get fans involved in telling us what they want, because that's the whole point. So on our Facebook thread, I started a thread yesterday asking about people's favorite teams. I want to do a fan favorite team, especially since we're about to get a lot of new players from Amazon and so forth, to help them along, give them some ideas of teams that
they put one in the store, you mean, or just in general strategy lessons?
Exactly. So people have been on Facebook. We've had about a few hundred people suggesting what teams they like and why.
Well, do let me know, and I'm happy to make a video, about favourite teams and how to use them and things like that. So get a bit.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I haven't done a strategy video for a while, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you know what? We'll figure out what the team is, and then we'll let you know first, so you can get a video going for that before we put it up there. Love that idea. What else? Doctor Who Magazine, I think I mentioned earlier to some people who were in the chat before it started that Doctor Who Magazine's doing is covering us on Thursday next week, and they will be talking about Jack Harkness, for instance, and they'll be the first to actually have the art in print on Thursday next week. And BBC America, for anyone who's on the American side, apparently is actually promoting on the TV show, which is so exciting. All the repeats of Doctor Who and BBC America have a little slide on telling them about Doctor Who Legacy. So we're pretty excited about that too.
Awesome. Is the game still kind of? Obviously, this is marketing, so you may want to avoid the question. But is the game kind of still growing in terms of the user base,
yes.
or it is?
Yes, absolutely, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's really challenging to get the word out as rapidly as you want to. I mean, there are 75 million people globally who watch Doctor Who. and we're doing well. We're over 600,000 installs now of people actually playing the game, which is great. But there's obviously a long way to go. So anything that anyone can do to spread the word, Twitter, Facebook,
Spread the
friends,
word. Some sort of banner. Have you thought about
patch.
t-shirts, that side of thing, and merchandising outside of there, or would that cause problems
In
with the
fact,
BBC?
yes. In fact, yes. No, no, no. I think that maybe you weren't. It's another thing that we talked about before 1 o'clock officially came around. Is that yes, actually, we're looking into that right now, and BBC has told us they're cool with it. So we're starting to look into plans to do some merchandising. And actually, one of the things we'd really like to do is tie some of it to achievement, so that there's a bit of bragging right associated with being able to get something to purchase something that unlocks once you get to a certain point in the game, that sort of thing.
But we were talking about that last week a little bit. We talked about the idea that it would be cool not to have too many of them, but just a few little things that you are very, very rare and you only get for being in certain places at certain times, or one of the few people to get the dot 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 costume or whatever. And
It's funny. We always wanted to do like, what? Remember when Star Wars, the first Star Wars MMO, the one that no one liked very much, came out, and you had to find out how to be a Jedi, but no one actually knew what the solution was until somebody found it. And we kind of had some ideas about that too. That it'd be interesting if some combination of achievements would unlock something special in the game, and no one really knows what it is. You just find out when you do it. So we're still sort of thinking about some ideas like that. Sort of stay tuned on that.
so the Easter eggs are coming. Well, let's.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm ahead in time, so let me just grab a question from from the chat here. Stella Mayfair has asked, "Will the Facebook version and the mobile versions be linked?" I assume that means saves and things like that.
Yeah, it's something that theoretically we can do. It's really more a question of sort of the politics of mobile. I think that it would be probably easier for Google to go for it and maybe Amazon than for Apple. But so it's unclear. Yes, technically, but whether we'll actually be able to do it is sort of more of a question mark.
Okay, Ben Crocker has asked a very, very deep question. If you had to be a Doctor Who alien or monster, which one would you be? Sorry, I can't even say that question with a straight face.
I had to be a Doctor Who alien or monster. Who would it be? I guess. I want to go with the Master. I think, right? That would be the arrogant thing to say, wouldn't it?
You're malevolent, and you want to be every person on the planet.
Exactly. I want to be a malevolent Time Lord. I've always been. I think everyone possibly knows by now who's been watching these things. I am a huge fan of the Peg dolls. I love everything Mark Gatiss does, and I love the Peg dolls. They're some of my favorite bits of sort of art that we've done in the game are the Peg dolls. So I guess maybe Peg doll would be my second choice.
Okay, in case you haven't spotted it by now, guys, in the stream, and also Susan as well. I mean, it's Lee and Susan's mission to talk about the game as much as humanly possible, and it's my mission to get them to talk about everything else. But just for funsies' sake, really. So thank you for these questions that are absurd enough that we can go elsewhere. However, I was very impressed that Susan managed to bring it back to the artwork from the game with that question. That was smooth. You just kind of slotted that in at the end there. Just kind of went, oh yeah. It just so happens that we did a little picture of that. No, I like it. It was good. Okay, I've got 170 seconds, so I'm going to shut up. So you tell us about.
I should have said adipose, right? That I'd want to be the adipose, of course, because they're sort of friend and enemy.
That adipose is not a monster. How dare you? How dare you? Right. Okay. So you tell us about anything you want to tell us about, or
okay,
entertain
right.
people with a joke, because I'm taking down dinosaurs.
Oh, I know. So I'm curious to see, in text what people think about this. We're, there's a mechanic in the game, this sort of randomly rolling for something. It comes from games like Puzzle and Dragons, where you spend a few time crystals and you get something random that you don't have, which we think is kind of fun. I've been surprised that people haven't taken advantage of it as much as I thought they would. And one of the things that we thought would be kind of cool and would be if we could weight the system so that, say, 1 week it's red week and you're going to have a better chance of getting something red than anything else, or blue or black or whatever it is that you're trying to put together. We're thinking about introducing some sort of weekly things like that to sort of help people to have a better idea of what they might get.
Well, certainly one of the things that does work very well in other free-to-play games is things like events. Like you obviously had that wonderful Advent promotion, but just kind of like an ongoing kind of rolling. This is what's new this week. And obviously you do it with new characters and new seasons and things like that. But having a kind of or something that kind of changes up the gameplay in some way or wants you to play a certain way, I think is a lovely idea as well. Oh God, I've got 83 I've got 83 seconds left, so I'm not going to say anything. Right, go.
All right. Yes, I'll let you stop there for a second. I'm trying to think of what else we haven't talked about.
You got dead air here, Susan. Dead air.
I did. I know. Come on, questions. Give me another question.
I can't. I'm taking down dinosaurs, and I can't lose for the second time because it'll be really embarrassing.
I see. Question. I thought we were getting Jack this Friday. No, we are not getting Jack this Friday. Jack is coming next week in the epilogue to remind everybody of what's coming next week, alongside the Kindle support. It's the epilogue, and the epilogue will include story that's going to go into the end of season 6. So you're going to actually backpedal a little bit to see some of the end of season 6 story, and then the epilogue. Which is where you're actually going to encounter Jack Harkness, as well as some other surprises, which we're not going to give away before next week. But that'll all be coming next week. And I think Tuesday is the announced target date for getting all of that out.
I got 13 seconds and a dinosaur. I'm going to lose. Who invented this level? Lee, I'm going to kill you.
What will happen with new episodes in the show, and when will we see them in the game? Well, obviously that's we're a bit of a ways off there, and we always knew that was kind of an issue of having to jump around a bit. We absolutely 100% plan to support the new season with Peter Capaldi when we're given the blessing to do so, and we'll figure it out. That's the joy of a timey-wimey game, is that we can jump around. Sadly, it looks like Adipose is lost. Is that my fault for talking too much? I'll send you a time crystal.
Damn it, I'm using a time crystal. I don't even care. I'm using a time. I want to take this. Look how much health is left on that dinosaur. What's that? What is that? Like a shot? I'm gonna see if I can take him down in one turn. And if I take him down in one turn, I'm gonna have a big rant. Right. Okay. Let me have a look.
In regards to the question I just saw about characters we'd like to create that we haven't started yet, dear God, many. I think we've said before. There's only, to my knowledge, one person who has decided to not be in the game that we approached so far. And
I got him in one turn. I was one turn away. One turn. He's dead. He's dead now. He's gone. Right. Sorry. I'm back.
That's it. I only have time for a couple more questions.
That's fine.
Sadly.
That's fine. Okay. Let me. Now I have calmed myself and.
You got a pink heart. Doesn't that make you feel better?
I'm getting some nice sympathy from the chat. Yeah, I've been handed a tissue. I've been given a hug. Someone's laughing at my face. That one's less complimentary. Okay, here you go. Matthew has asked. This is quite a cool question. Will there ever be a power up involving the sonic screwdriver?
A power up involving the sonic screwdriver. I'm not quite sure what that means. Like the name of it, or.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's kind of gadgets, really. I mean, one thing we've talked in the past was kind of like like power-ups or like an inventory or something like that. I mean, I guess it's kind of asking, do you see a place or a space for the sonic screwdriver?
We have a couple of new plans in the works, which may come in the March season 5 update. Some of which may or may not involve things that might drop. I don't want to get too far into it yet because we're still actually creatively debating back and forth some thoughts that we all have on next steps for the game. But definitely, we absolutely plan to incorporate some really cool new stuff to add even more depth to the game.
Thank you very much. Zaydaga, which sounds Zaydaga? I'm not sure how to pronounce this one, but Zay asked, what would it take to be a tester for you guys? So, I mean, you mentioned earlier a limited test. I mean, how would people go about being involved in that if that's something they'd like to do?
Yeah, I think that Facebook will be a good testing ground for that because we do get content that sits for a while, and it would be great to have people that we know are interested in those sorts of things. Facebook is perhaps the best place for us to do it. On mobile, it's a bit more challenging managing test flights and things like that. But sort of stay tuned. We're trying to figure out if we can do that, and we would love to have people involved earlier on who like giving feedback and things like that. Meanwhile, you can certainly help us by telling us when you find issues, and continuing the great comments and stuff that we get on supports and Facebook and Twitter. We absolutely read the stuff. We love seeing it, and it never bothers us. Never feel like you're spamming us with too much stuff.
So if I'm